You are a leader who genuinely cares. You show up for your team, you are always the one putting out fires, and you are constantly offering solutions to help them succeed. On paper, you are doing everything right, but your team is quiet. Deadlines are slipping. The energy in your team meetings is just flat. Nobody brings a new idea to the table anymore. They are just waiting for you to tell them what to do. You see the disengagement, you see the lack of motivation, but you simply cannot figure out why. You are one of the most supportive leaders, but what if the way you are listening, the very thing that you think is helping, is actually the precise reason your team is pulling away? What if your best intentions are accidentally destroying the trust that you have worked so hard to build? We are about to uncover the single biggest listening mistake that even the best intentioned leaders make. It's subtle, it's common, and it might just be the one thing that's costing you your team's respect. So let's imagine a leader. We'll call her Priya. Priya is sharp, driven, and she takes pride herself on being a world-class problem solver. So when her team member Rohan comes to her looking stressed, she immediately switches to the helper mode. Rohan starts, Priya, I'm just so overwhelmed with the client's latest demands on Project Agni. They keep changing the scope, and I feel that we are drowning. Before Rohan can ever get the full thought out, Priya just jumps in. Okay, got it. Chalo, let's put out a plan. Pull Seema out of Project Ganga to support you. I will email the client right now and reset the expectation on the timeline. Then let's reschedule 15 minutes sync every morning to track the progress. Sounds good? Priya leans back, satisfied. She has been efficient. She fixed the problem. But Rohan just nods quietly. He says, okay, thanks, and walks away. He does not look relieved. He looks defeated. Priya thinks that she has been a great leader, but that exact interaction, repeated over and over again, is destroying the team's morale. The mistake is this: she is listening to fix, not listening to understand. This is the most common trap for action oriented leaders. We value quick results and efficiency. We see a challenge and our instinct is to neutralize it immediately. We think that we are being helpful, but what our team experiences is something else. Rohan wasn't necessarily looking for an instant fix. Maybe he wanted to propose his own solution or a point of deeper systemic issue with the client relationship, but he never got the chance. The conversation was over before it really began. This habit of listening to fix is so destructive because it sends three unintended negative messages that slowly eat away at trust. Number one, it invalidates their feelings. When someone brings you a problem, there's an emotional layer: stress, frustration, confusion. By immediately a solution, you steamroll right over that emotion. You are essentially saying, your feelings are inconvenient. Let's get to the logistical part of it. The person is left unheard. They learn that it is not safe to be vulnerable with you. Two, it undermines their competence. Every time you swoop into to mode of solving a problem, you send a powerful unspoken message that is, you can't handle this without me. You think you are being supportive, but what they are hearing is a vote of no confidence. You rob them of the chance to grow their own problem solving muscles and take ownership. This breeds dependency, not autonomy. Why would they offer an idea when the manager will just give them an answer anyway? And number three, it stops you from discovering the real problem. The issue a team member brings you is often a symptom. Rohan's overwhelm is the symptom. The root cause could be a flawed client onboarding process, unclear roles of the team, or technical debt that's finally catching. By slapping a band aid on the symptom, Priya completely misses the chance to diagnose the disease. It's no wonder that a lack of effective communication is cited as a cause of failure in most of the organizations. By jumping to a fix, you are solving the wrong problem with incomplete information. So, how do you break this expensive habit? How do you shift from being reactive, listening to fix, to empowering, listening to understand? Well, it's a skill and it comes down to a simple three-step approach that you can use in the very next meeting. Step number one, shut up and listen. This is the hardest part. When someone starts talking, your only job is to listen. You're not thinking about your response. You are not planning a rebuttal. You are giving them your undivided attention. Just put your phone down, turn away from the screen, and when they finish a thought, fight the urge to jump in. Let there be a pause. Silence is not a vacuum that you need to fill. It's a space where people can think and go deeper. The most important information often comes after a moment of quiet. So just listen to that. Step 2, validate and paraphrase. Once they have shared their initial thoughts, your first words are not a solution. Your first words must be to prove that you were listening. This is the heart of active listening. Use simple reflective phrases. Okay, so what I am hearing is that the constant scope changes are creating a ton of frustration. It sounds like this situation is incredibly overwhelming. When you paraphrase, you achieve two crucial things. The first thing is that you make them feel seen and heard. And second, you give them a chance to correct you. They might say exactly or they might say not exactly. The frustration isn't the changes themselves, it's that we are not communicating them internally. Boom! Just uncovered the real problem. And step number three, ask, don't tell. Now and only now do you start moving up towards a solution. But here is the key, you don't offer it, you invite them to find it themselves. You empower them by asking powerful, open ended questions that start with what or how. Instead of here's what you should do, ask what are your initial thoughts on how we can tackle this particular problem. Instead of don't worry, I will handle it, ask what kind of support would you be finding it helpful so that you are able to move forward. How can we make sure that this does not happen again? These questions hand the ownership back to your team member. It shows that you trust their judgment and believe in their ability. You are no longer the fixer, you are a coach and a collaborator. So let's check back with Priya. She learns this new approach. A week later, Rohan comes to her office. He says, Priya, that new feature on Project Agni, it's not working right, and the launch is in 3 days. The old Priya would have jumped in with a recovery plan. The new Priya takes a breath, listens fully, and then says, wow, okay, it sounds like you are really in a tight spot. The launch is breathing down your neck, and a core feature is broken. That's incredibly stressful. Rohan's shoulders relax. Exactly, he says, relief in his voice. Then Priya leans forward and asks, this is a tough one. What are your thoughts on the best path that we can take forward? Rohan thinks for a moment. He quickly identifies two options and decides the safest path is to roll back and pull in a colleague for a rapid diagnosis. He's not reporting just a problem, he's owning the solution. He walks out of Priya's office not defeated but energized. He feels trusted, respected, and capable. Priya never gave him the answer, but she gave him something far more valuable, the space to find his own answer. The difference between a manager who just gets things done and a leader who builds a loyal, high performing team often comes down to this. Are you listening to fix or are you listening to understand? Giving solutions creates dependencies and disengagement. Asking questions and truly listening builds capability, trust, and a culture where people feel valued. So here's my challenge to you. This week, in just one conversation, when someone brings out a problem to you, the urge to fix it. Instead, get quiet, validate what you hear, and then ask, what are your thoughts on how we can move forward? Just try. You might be surprised at how much respect you earn by finally giving it away. So hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and start building your fireproof, high performing team today. I'll see you in the next one.